Welcome to the final bench talk of 2023. Now, Jordan, I see that you're appropriately dressed for the occasion. I think you wore that last year and a lot of people were saying where you got it from. Obviously, it came from
China.
I've got to get some use out of this. I think it costs, I don't know what it was, $60, $70 for this synthetic thing that doesn't breathe well and it's high quality. You go near a heat source, it's gonna go up quicker than a Tesla. This comment was a perler. When your twin gets the botox.
I just want to stay in the game.
Now, what's all that about? Botox. Apparently, we've been getting some backstage help so we can look good for bench talk.
Do you have any feeling in your face? Just in this one spot right here. And then from the eyebrows down, dead.
I can assure you, if there's one thing that you and I haven't got, it's Botox. Have you seen my forehead? I've got more wrinkles than Ben Grimm. A lot of it has to do with lighting. I think my lighting's always atrocious, but it's getting better. And I'm usually living on about 5 hours of sleep, so that catches up with you. Although, they do say, Geordie, that when you got to get a facelift at 50, and that's about 3 minutes away, so I could be getting some work done. Maybe my turkey neck taken out. What do you reckon? Get some boobs. It's 2023, I could get some boobs chucked in. We had fun making a video of the burnouts at Heathcote. We don't normally film burnouts, but people weren't a fan. Hey, that was a fun day out. I like doing that. I didn't mind. I'll do it again. Like, people were not a fan of the LS in the Falcon. You can never stick an LS in a Ford. Mental illness comes in many forms. Is this channel run by yank dick riders or something? Consistently see this channel simping for the LS and shitting on the Barra. Pretty cringe seeing an Australian channel have zero Australian pride. Like, no Aussie pride.
Boy.
We don't have any videos on the Barras ever. I more than you'd think, get accused of hating on the Barra, and I'll quickly point out to people that how many Barra project cars have we had? We've probably got the most Barra content on YouTube of any YouTube channel. Potentially, yeah. We've had, we sell Barra merch. I've gone in a Barra on drag challenge a couple of times. I have nothing against the Barra, just for the fact that there's no way in hell I'd ever own one.
What did you say?
I'm only joking. But yeah, and it's people just cannot take criticism of anything. We didn't even criticize the Barra in that video. The guy just took the car that had the LS. He's referring to that AU, yeah? That's got the LS in it? There's an EL. EL, sorry. Yeah, you're right. EL. Don't mix them up. What am I? I've just screwed up the Aussie pride already.
G'day, mate.
Imagine getting that irate over someone else's car and what engine they put in it. Fuck yeah. Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, you can't beat a limiter. Speaking of Aussie pride, here we go. What's this? Aussie Barra. Aussie Barra with a Aussie beer. What more Australian could you be? Aussie coffee mug. Apparently we're anti-Barra. Hey, you keep clanging those cups around like that, you're going to end up with a split bore like a Barra. You just uploaded a video on 2 quality Toyota Land Cruisers and things are getting a bit salty in the comments. This has gone down exactly how I planned it to, so don't think you can offend me with some silly comments. Now, one thing we have learnt that we already knew, that the 70 Series Land Cruiser is quickly taking the mantle of the RX-8 in terms of salty owners. So just back in 2 prime movers because we've got a lot of salt. And also that don't dare disrespect that mighty Land Cruiser 70 Series V8 because, I mean, Jordo, if you tune this thing up put an 8-inch straight pipe on it, replace the clutch and half the car, you are gonna show that little 4-cylinder who is boss on the drag strip, all right? Imagine when they've got a load behind them, because yeah, you've just paid $90,000 for a rig that's 0 to 100 in what, 15 seconds? I mean, what's not to like?
Show some respect.
And then people will say, mate, it is on to go 800,000 Ks. I mean, who the heck, in all honesty, who buys a brand new car thinking, I'm gonna do 800,000 Ks in it?
Well, that's where you're wrong, Luke. You've never owned a 70 series. You'll do 800,000 Ks in it.
Yeah.
I don't think, to be honest, people have a problem with the car itself. It's what people pay for them.
I got a great deal.
Yeah, but you're getting that reliability, Jordan, that reliability.
Look, if that was some 40 grand ute, whatever, I don't think people would care. The fact it seems to be about double what it should be sold for, that's why it's a laughingstock. I need to get a farm vehicle, right? I need something just to bash around the paddocks. Grandpa Joe needs his farm ute. Oh, let's just go drop 95 grand on this thing. What?
Okay, there are people who use them on the farms, I'm not going to deny that, but like at my kid's school, there's 2 or 3 that I see regularly. They're all hotted up, you know, big tyres, shocks, stickers all over them. They've got, you know, where they look like they've got fake SAS SWAT things on the side, and you're just like, what is all this rubbish for? Hasn't got one speck of dirt on it. You think, this guy's burning, what, 1,000 litres of fuel to do 100 kilometres and just to drop the kid at school, I don't know. At least if you've got something like a Ranger Raptor, at least this thing goes all right, yeah? Like, you've got the slowest vehicle and you've just made it slower.
Luke, you insulted the V8 fans here. Right, now strap on 3,500 kilo trailer behind each and thrash them senseless for 400,000 Ks. 400,000 Ks.
We'll just do that tomorrow. We'll drive to Swan Hill a few times and back.
Subjecting both of these to a drag race is a bit like seeing how a funny car would climb a sand dune.
It'd probably get there quicker. It'd probably get there quicker than the 70 series down the main straight of Sandown, I'll tell you what.
But look, people laugh at that. I know that was just a silly test on the street, but to be fair, every idiot driving a ute these days seems to think they've got the fastest car in the world. Like, and the funniest thing about this one is, it doesn't matter how hard they try and how much they floor that accelerator and the warm wind V8 winds up, they are not even beating a Prius or something. Like, forget it. On an on-ramp, it's just like, see you later, champ. Just go straight around. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
When you're at a set of lights and you've got you're in the middle lane, then left lane has got to merge, 200 meters down. I guarantee you've got a diesel dual cab next to you. Every time. Like this guy's gonna, who are you gonna beat, mate? Just a whole lot of noise.
Look, put 3.5 ton on both. I know the V8 flogs a Hilux uphill. The V8 turbo diesel. How funny, in that video how you weren't surprised it was NA. I remember the day you filmed it, I said something like about the car and you go, no, it's NA. And I go, oh, okay, it's NA, fair enough.
No.
And you go, it drove that bad.
I was only ish-stirring on the video. People watch a video and think everything's serious, but the video wasn't that serious, because, I mean, come on, it's not a real serious video, and everyone's sooking that we didn't take it to across the Nullarbor and back. I mean, what kind of budget do you think Fullboost has got here, guys?
Hang on, Luke, the other Luke, everyone was like, he doesn't know anything. He only just picked up the car 4 hours earlier. He's not some like motoring journo nerd and looks up every stat before he gets it. He literally gets the car, then he pulls it apart and has a look at it.
The big difference is with a lot of these reviews too. Let's just say if a manufacturer gives you that car, you're probably not going to be 100% honest about it, are you?
God, no.
No, as opposed to reviewing a car that you own or someone else owns.
The V8's turbo diesel only comes alive once the engine, comes alive.
She's ready.
Once an engine tune decat. Oh, so now we're just talking about illegal modifications.
Oh,
just point that out.
Turf
decat.
DPF out the window, the whole works.
76mm exhaust system. Who talks in that language?
76.
And revise.
Not 77.
And revise second and fifth gear ratios. So now they're pulling the gearbox apart.
Well, you got to, because you got to put a clutch in them.
has been applied. Then it's a powerhouse,
Yeah.
and the V8 sound is to die for.
Yeah, I don't know about
A V8 diesel, okay.
to die for.
Would love to see the expression on the faces of the i4 loving fairies once they experience a relatively cheap hybrid turbo conversion on an LC79
So now we're doing a turbo conversion to beat this pesky little 4-cylinder Rowan.
with over 1,000 Newton meters at the crank on tap. With glorious opera sounds being admitted, they'll soil themselves and they'll be traumatized for life.
Jeez, they've just
Right.
insert some Pavarotti or what? What is going on? Opera sounds.
Luke, remember the old Victorian number plate? Was it Victoria on the move? Or is that... I actually have no idea what it is at the moment.
On the move, it should be Victoria, move out of Victoria should be the slogan on the Victorian plates.
Luke, bus-only lanes touted as a quick fix for Melbourne's traffic gridlock.
Bullshit.
Oh, that'll help. We already know where this is going.
This is just some inner city Greens logic going on here.
They believe in magic.
A network of dedicated bus corridors is the quickest and cheapest way. Now, cheapest? We're talking about the Victorian government here. We'll see about that.
Not a dollar more.
The cheapest way to address Melbourne's transport woes, and the state government should start building one within 5 years. Victoria's infrastructure advisor says. So basically what they're saying is there's too much gridlock in the city, Luke, and you know how we're going to fix it? We're going to remove a car lane and put more bus lanes in, because people are just going to flock to public transport.
Especially in Victoria, where it just runs seamlessly.
More than a third of Melburnians have never caught a bus. Yeah. I used to catch buses with trains. It ain't fun. Despite 8 out of 10 living within 400 metres of a stop. Yeah, mate, they turn up once an hour.
Yeah.
With infrequent services, exactly, slow and complex routes and limited operating hours making them an unattractive option.
You know, just thinking about what you said then, I don't think I've got caught a bus since I was in high school.
No, I have, but
Oh yeah, but you would have for work. I can't remember getting one.
I'm always just amazed about how they come out with these big statements, and you think the Transport Minister and probably most of the people who work in that department, guarantee you none of them probably even catch public transport. They have no idea what it's like. Yet then they'll do the photo op where I reckon what they do is they get on a train and they just clear the whole train out, and then they'll stand there and grab a railing like, oh, I'm just catching the train to work. And you think, oh, good on you, dickhead. And there's probably bodyguards and cameras behind them. It's total BS. Effectively, when you read it, Luke, they're going to get rid of car lanes and expect traffic to get better. Yeah.
All they have to do is put the bus lane next to the bike lane.
What's going to happen is no one extra, maybe 1% of people extra will get a bus, and all they'll do is create more congestion.
I mean, Jordo, you should be running the state with logic like that.
This report calls for... I can't even read this. My eyesight's so shot. It's like I need to get the old man... I can't even make the font bigger. Here we go.
Facelift at 50, Jordo.
Read the phone out here. The end result of what this is going to be, effectively, is the Victorian government will spend about $7 billion, and they'll probably reduce...
No, $7 billion over budget.
Not a dollar more.
And then they'll probably reduce the bus timetable by like 1 minute or something.
Please, please, it's too much winning.
Driver's been caught trying to make a dangerous manoeuvre inside Sydney's Cross City Tunnel. Another motorist recorded the moment he tried to turn around after realising he was going the wrong way yesterday afternoon. Unable to complete the move, he was forced to reverse out of the tunnel.
Jordo, did you hear about this, I think it's a charging station, that was literally plonked in front of a set of shops? You cannot see anything. You can't even see the shops. And a few people apparently were stopping, assuming it was a public toilet.
Look for the crapper ASAP, and they're probably looking for the male, female, non-binary door. Couldn't get in.
Yep, couldn't get in. Have you ever actually seen a photo of it? It's absurd.
Oh, it's humongous. It actually looked like, it looks like a big generator or something.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what it was. It was some sort of power generation and then they've added to it. Like apparently they made it way bigger.
A woman who works at the shoe store behind the box said the box's larger size had led to customers believing they had shut down because they can't see the store or driving on the street.
Hey, you think they could just got to put it in the other corner of the car park or something?
People would be more on board with EV if kids weren't sent to the mines for minerals, batteries didn't explode, cars didn't spy, and if they use clean generated electricity. EV cars being disposable and non-repairable doesn't help either. Wise words?
That's Cobalt, kids.
They could be $1 and I still wouldn't buy one. Always the line. Yeah, mate, the car's $1, forget it. Just not touching it.
Touching it.
There's no Ford Holden badge on it. How much would you pay for used batteries in your TV remote?
I don't know, but I don't think it's quite the same thing.
I wonder if those shops are even like there was a consultation period, or the good old local council just.
Well, if it's anything like
probably dropped about 400 large of taxpayers' money on that thing.
Yeah.
As a Victorian government, it would have been $7 billion.
It's not $1 more.
Robert Kubica, he's a former Formula F1 driver. And I've said that too many Fs there. Hang on, I said a former Formula F1. What does F1 stand for?
Formula One. The heck are you going on about?
Yeah, and what did I say?
Formula F1?
Yeah.
Formula F1. Formula 1. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I said former Formula F1. It should just be former F1. Too many formulas in there. It's a bit like having sex with an inflated doll, Kubica said about his weird analogy for Formula E. Now, if you don't know what Formula E is...
If you don't know what it is, it's the most boring motorsport you'll ever see. See, I've said it. I'm sorry, but electric cars might be alright for your daily, Jordo, but motorsport, come on, give me a break.
There's another lap. None of them have energy. Yeah, this is an absolute catastrophe. And the Neos have stopped. Turvey and Blomqvist have ground to a halt.
They're open-wheeler electric
slot cars,
race cars.
In Europe, it's huge. Huge. Huge.
I'm sure it's massive.
Something tells me I don't think it's going to take off in Australia.
You can't top the copper top.
In fact, I've had some various offers and I've refused a lot of money. No, for me, a track vehicle or competitive vehicle must make noise, he said.
What's wrong with that?
Must have been an electrifying experience for him. That's another drum roll. What the F is this bloke on? After watching F1, watching it gives you the same experience, in my opinion.
It's exactly the same. He's kind of got a point, because the V6s sound pretty horrendous.
There was a story going around this morning or yesterday about a $60,000 battery replacement for a Hyundai. This is 60,000 Canadian dollars.
Did you say Hyundai?
Because you drove a Hyundai to get here tonight.
Why would it matter? Because obviously the car's under warranty and they've repaired it, right?
Wrong. Now, Jordo, it was 60,000 Canadian dollars.
Pull my finger.
No, this story is absurd. A guy's got a brand new, actually I think it's like a year-old Hyundai Ioniq 5. A lot of people don't like the look of this car. I actually think it looks cool. Super retro. And he was driving somewhere and drove over something on the ground that he said wasn't major, but he knew he'd driven over something. So when he got, later on, he took the car in just to check, and it's got like a, batteries have like a big scuff plate under them to protect the battery. So it's got scratches and stuff on it, but they didn't pull it off and pull it apart and actually check whether the battery was no good. They've just said, oh, you need a new battery. He's like, what the heck?
So it's a bit of a dodgy headline then.
Well, not necessarily. So because you ran over and something and damaged it, it's not under warranty. Because effectively he's run over something, yeah?
But they're trying to take the piss.
He's like, oh, well, I'll run it through my insurance. And the insurance has then turned around. And I think by this stage it's gone to a repairer. And then the repairer said, the battery's $60,000. And then the insurance has said, well, that's more than the car, so we've got to write it off. And then poor old mate's just like, he's got no car. He's like, what the heck's going on? Apparently no one even took the panel off and checked the battery.
Why didn't someone just go, well, let's just replace the scuff plate and have a look at it?
That aside, let's say the battery was no good and it had to be replaced. How can it cost more than the car?
It doesn't make any sense at all. They just want to write the car off. Why?
It's a scam.
Well, even in the video, they're saying, are you saying that any car that's 3 years old and it has a collision, all of a sudden the battery's no good? The car's a throwaway. That's insane. I don't know, I thought, apparently Hyundai in Korea were going to get involved, but it's an absolute shit show in terms of PR, isn't it?
And what do? We end up looking like a monkey fucking a football out there.
Even the bloke who owns it saying, I don't know if I'd buy another electric car after all this. So Jordo, coming into the holiday season, what better cars than to scoot across the Nullarbor than in the old electric vehicle? Did you see recently someone apparently drove around Australia in 12 days in a Tesla?
Part of it's like, how many hours is he driving? He's doing days where he's doing 1,400 kilometres. And you got to remember, you're doing charge stops there.
I didn't even read the article.
Preparation is the key.
I don't know if it's true, I saw someone write something about he did 60 charge stops. 60. Because you've got to think, those cars on the highway, the faster you go, they're pretty awful.
The range is crap on the freeway in those things.
Yeah, I doubted he's going to be doing 150 across the dirt highway.
Well, he couldn't have been going that slow to do that many kilometres a day, though.
No. Maybe he was sleeping in the Tesla at the charging places.
And at the time of recording this, a couple of days ago in the news was a big story about Tesla basically having to recall all their cars because they need to do an autonomous driving update. In reality, doesn't that mean they'll just send an over-the-air update to the car?
This was the biggest nothing burger I've ever seen. They were just...
But they're calling it a recall.
Jody, why do you think the news are giving it to Tesla?
Gee, let me think.
Because of someone called Elon Musk. It has nothing to do with Tesla.
It ain't if your car is not going back to the dealer, that's not a recall, mate. That's complete beat up.
It's just getting a firmware update. And you can just do it over the net. It's the biggest non-story I've ever heard. It's just a whole lot of media hype to give Teslas a bad name.
You better calm down with that. Sounds like you're a bit too in favour of EVs there for a second there, Luke. You better cut that language out.
I better get with the program.
Honestly, I'm an OG subscriber and I don't even like four-wheel drives. However, Fullboost and you guys are constantly so good. And you guys are my favourite YouTube channel by far. I wanted to say something negative to get on Bench Talk, but I just can't bring myself to keep up the good work. So we read it out anyway, mate. Thank you. I got these made up. Full Dixie spec window stickers.
Well, Dixie's already messaged me and said he wants one for his VL.
But we'll be selling these soon. The little stickers have been very popular. So people have said, have you got bigger ones? These will be coming out soon.
In other news, we'd just like to say a big thank you for everyone who supported us during 2023. Now, Jordo, we do have something pretty cool coming next year, something a bit different for Fullboost, but we will lead on to more of that in the new year. But needless to say, 2024 is going to be pretty exciting for Fullboost.
Sure will be. We're not still recording here, are we? Do you reckon they're going to get really irate when they find out that we're buying a brand new Nissan Leaf and we're going to be drag testing it and it's going to be our next project car? That's the big news. Oh, no, they will when it beats the 70 series. That's going to cause a lot of problems. Look, let's be honest, anything will beat a 70 series.